When I was 13 years old, I embarked on a quest to have the perfect body. I began obsessively counting calories, limiting what I ate to only healthy foods, and exercising compulsively. I didn't know it at the time, but I had begun doing all of these things because I was having feelings that I couldn't bear to feel. Now you might think that I must have experienced some sort of major trauma or loss for something like this to have happened, but that wasn't really the case. See, for me, it was much less obvious than that. The feelings that were so unbearable for me to feel at that age had surfaced when I started middle school. I had gone from being known as the figure skating princess in my elementary school to feeling as if I was absolutely nothing when I started junior high. No one knew who I was. I didn't feel like I fit in or that anyone understood me. I truly felt as if something was terribly wrong with me, that I, somehow, was just simply not enough. The distress I felt on the inside was unbearable, and I thought to myself, maybe if I change how I look, I'll feel better, and maybe if I perfect my body, somehow I'll be accepted and enough once more. Each day, I would come home from school and decide what I was or was not going to eat. And then I would attend my daily afternoon, sweating to the oldies, date with the one and only Mr. Richard Simmons. I really did do this. And then it gets better, I promise. And finally, I would submerge myself in the never-ending soap opera drama of Days of Our Lives. Yes, I really did do those things. I did not want to feel those feelings. On the inside, I felt really sad, lonely and disconnected. My belly ached. My heart was heavy. And I experienced an unending sense of fear and pain that I never really found the words to fully describe. As I continued to strive for the perfect body, I became more and more consumed by my new obsessive way of being. And I became more and more disconnected from the feelings that set me on my quest in the first place. I couldn't seem to see that what I really wanted more than anything was to just know and believe and feel that I was okay and enough. Because at the time, I felt anything but. Now, though I recovered from my eating disorder with the help of many loving professionals and friends, which was no small victory, mind you, remnants of the pain of not enoughness still remained. And I soon found another way of dealing with these feelings. Surely a boy would make me feel like I was enough. So as I got older, I began striving to find love. Now, these are just a few examples of how striving to feel okay surfaced in my life. Can you see where maybe you've been striving in your life to feel okay, to prove your worth, or to feel like you're enough? Maybe you've been striving for that corner office, or for that more than perfect GPA. Or maybe you too have been striving for that perfectly chiseled body, or to lose those 10 extra pounds. Take a look. What do you see? The pain that comes from the silent fear of not enoughness that underscores our striving in America today, it's no joke. It's deep and it's real. This pain has a real texture and physicalness to it. Maybe you felt it in your gut or your chest, or maybe you felt it in your head or your hands or your limbs, but no matter where the pain of fear is felt, it's real. It's as real as the pain you would feel if you had just broken your leg or been struck in the arm by a fastly pitched baseball. For some reason, though, in our culture, we are led to believe that emotional pain doesn't seem to count. We are told it's all in our heads, and that we should just think differently, and that somehow will make it all better. I promise you, though, if it had been that simple, I would have done that a long time ago, and I bet you would have too. The pain of not enoughness that underscores our striving today very well may originate in our minds, but denying the validity of this kind of pain without acknowledging the realness of the physical experience of it, it's akin to telling someone with a broken leg to just get over it without seeking medical care. That would be ludicrous. Emotional pain, it's real. As a licensed professional counselor with over 20 years' experience in the field of counseling, psychology, and personal growth, I see this pain each and every day in my practice. The courageous individuals that come to see me have all had an intimate experience with this kind of pain. Some feel it as depression, others as anxiety, and some have gone as far as I did and have developed an eating disorder to cope with this kind of pain. Emotional pain, it's very real. And I believe that it's time for us to consider changing the way that we as a society relate to it. So, how might we do that? Well, it's not as complicated as you think. It's actually quite simple. What I've learned from all of my professional experience and personal experience is that we need to begin to get curious. Maybe that's right. See, when we are caught in the grip of striving and vying for ways to prove our worth, what we've really been doing is telling our emotions to go away and shut up. And that is as far away from being curious as we can possibly get. So getting curious simply means changing this conversation. Instead of continuing to tell our emotions to go away and shut up, we simply need to start asking, what's up instead? Now, this is not the same kind of what's up that you would use to greet your friend or colleagues, or we typically use to greet your friends or colleagues when you see them in passing or when you're just chit-chatting at the water cooler. In those instances, we've turned this question, what's up, into just a different way of saying hi instead of really being curious. But consider, what might be possible if we were actually curious with our friends? What if we really took these words at face value and got really interested in what was actually happening for them on the inside? What kind of relationships might we be able to create and consider? If we started asking ourselves, what's up? What kind of relationship might we develop within? Changing this conversation, it's not hard, but it does take conscious, deliberate practice. The cool thing is that no matter the time of day, our bodies are always talking to us. So all we need to do is be willing to pause and listen. No matter if we've just been triggered and are feeling a big wave of emotion, or if we're simply just chilling at home or sitting at our desk at work, all we have to do is take a moment, become aware of our breathing, and ask our bodies with genuine curiosity, hey, what's up? Then we simply need to listen. Notice what happens when we become aware of the rhythm of our breath. Notice what sensations accompany the rising and falling of our chest. Notice how our feet may feel as they press into the floor below us, or how our body may feel as it's supported by whatever we may be sitting on at the time. Just notice and allow. Allow whatever sensations we're experiencing to just be there, just exactly as they are. Like I said earlier, the sensations we feel are valid. They're valid simply because they exist. When they are allowed to just be without being judged as bad or wrong or being told to go away, they often tend to dissipate on their own. If the sensations endure or linger, it's usually because there's something very, very dear to us at stake, something we are believing we truly need to survive and thrive. I know this was the case for me when I was growing up. I promise, if you begin to get curious with yourself, begin to change this conversation, and take on the habit of asking, what's up? To what's going on inside of your body, and begin greeting what you find with the kindness and curiosity with which you treat your best friend, and the kindness and curiosity with which you'd want your best friend to treat you, you'll be well on your way to getting reacquainted with what matters most to you in life. If there's pain there, or it's overwhelming, don't fret. Getting curious is the answer. Your body is talking to you. Be kind to yourself. Ask for help if you need it, and trust that when you slow down and get curious, there's no place to go but up. Thank you.